$10.10. So if you are out there and went the old odds-on favourite, field in the quaddie, you are guaranteed to make a profit. So well done to you. The shortest way home is with military action, and the quaddie Prov Div is $1,800. So best of luck if you're alive in today's quadrella. But for now, we're going to try and find the winner of this last over the 1400. Number 1, Military Action, is the first horse to preview. He is our favourite, and he is my on-top selection as well. He's officially 460 into 290 now with fixed odds in WA, so a very good move for him. He's got the double strapper going, and he's from the yard of Justin Robbins. Incredible training performance, really. This horse arrived in Western Australia as a 14-start maiden who had never run a placing. He's had 3 runs at Kalgoorlie, first up all the way winner of a maiden, second then in a Class 2 behind Dreamtime Jean, who went around in a Belmont Guineas and yesterday's Aquanita Stakes, and then third most recently behind Debonair, who was the odds-on favourite that won the first leg of the quaddie today and goes 3 in a row to frank that form. So everything around Military Action is running really well since, himself included. And from barrier number 2, I thought Lisa Staples would give him every chance. He's my on-topper in the last and becoming very popular in betting into $2.90. Number 1, Military Action. Number 2, Secret Attire. Peter Fernie, Tash Faithful looking to go race to race here after so likeable led throughout. This is a 4-year-old mare by Vancouver, who at one stage was a Peter's Investments galloper, but has now been acquired by Andrew Ingles and Geisel Parks, Eddie Riggs, Geisel Park. So they're obviously going to have breeding operation going forward with this mare, but for now she's a winner of 2 from 4 since arriving on the Goldfields. Her other 2 runs she's run minor placings behind Wanna Cracker and Debonair, so her form is equally as good as Military Action. A $4.40 chance here and currently on the 3rd line of betting. Number 3, the Candy Kid, Christy Bennett, Paul Tapper combine, all-the-way winner of a maiden over a mile last start. Comes into it a month between runs, up in grade, back in distance. A little bit of an awkward campaign. $20 chance here. Number 3, the Candy Kid. Number 4, Pray With You, I thought put in a really good run, track distance and grade 2 back behind Dreamtime Jean with a good last 600 from a long way off them. Then went to 1760 21 days ago and potentially didn't quite see out the ground that day. Maybe it was too much too soon for him in the preparation. They bring him back to 1400 metres here. He's an $18 chance. Brandon Louis riding for Ricky Brown. Number 5, Brazen Empress, Peter Fernie and Lucy Fiore combining. Led last start when run down late by Debonair. Now, as we said, that's the same race that Military Action comes through, and Debonair won earlier on in the program to frank the form. Brazen Empress is $4.20 on the second line of betting, and she's also been really good here on the Goldfield since arriving, a 3-year-old filly, looking to go one better in the last. Number 6, Lacey Ace, won a maiden 2 starts back for Helen Harding and Maddie Derrick, then went to a Class 2 and was beaten out of sight by Debonair. So we're going to be forgiving of that last start effort, but at the same time, she goes around at $23 today. Number 7, Let Sparks Fly, continues a lot of last start maiden winners in this field. The Candy Kid, Let Sparks Fly, Mariah, all last start maiden winners, and Let Sparks Fly has a 3-kilo claim today. Number 7 for Chanel Cooper. Was an all-the-way winner of a maiden. Didn't exactly have the form hold up earlier in the day, though. The second horse, Sassy Sky, was a bit disappointing. Chanel Cooper has already kicked one home today with the very impressive Talk It Up. $13 about number 7, Let Sparks Fly. Number 8, Mariah, last start maiden winner. Geordie Turner riding for Brett Drury. Got the job done by 2.5 over Altina, who was quite good earlier on. She's a lightly raced filly. She might have a little bit more to offer here, and she should get a lovely run for an $11 chance. It's number 8, Mariah. We move past number 9, Akaya Kuma, because she is a scratching, so we now move to number 10 in Minor Detail. He's a 4-year-old, he's trained by Josh Brown locally, and he's be ridden by Braden Garth. Now, he's a horse that probably is a little bit one-paced, is the best way to describe him. He's always thereabouts, but he's also finding it hard to win. He's only won the once from 21 starts. Number 10, Minor Detail, is a $19 chance. Number 11, Send 'Em. Talking of horses that have been struggling to break through, 427 days since his one and only victory. He's now having his 29th race start. He's got 7 minor placings to go with it, and he does bob up at odds from time to time, Send 'Em, but I find him very hard to catch. Vicky Corver's looking for a double today after saluting on Debonair earlier in the program. Number 12, She's a Machine, Cassie Martin rides for Paul Rowe. Comes into this 3 weeks between runs, and like Pray With You, is also 1760 back to the 1400. Just thinking from the wide draw, she's going to have to do it too tough. 30 to 1 makes her the equal outsider of this field. The final runner here, the first emergency gains a run in Strachan, number 13, and Keshel Do Run is the pickup ride here for Helen Harden. Beaten 3 1/4 by Secret Attire last start. Secret Attire is a $4.40 chance. Strachan a 30-1 chance. That probably looks about the right gap in terms of a market disparity between that pair. 2 minutes away from the Madjec Constructions Handicap over 1,400 metres at Class 2 level. I'm going on top here with number 1 in Military Action. Think he gets every chance here from an inside draw. He's got 60 kilos on his back, which is a lump of weight, but he's been racing really well since joining Justin Robbins' yard here in Kalgoorlie, and the fact that he's 460 into 290 is a really positive betting move in the last. Number 1 for me, Military Action on top. From 5, Brazen Empress, and 2, Secret Attire, the 2 awkwardly drawn runners from Peter Fernie's yard who will no doubt be charging late. Brazen Empress showed last start that she can actually slide forward and be put into the race, whereas Secret Attire tends to get off the speed. They're drawn in barriers 11 and 9 respectively, so they're both drawn a bit sticky here, but they do look like the dangers, and that's the way the market sees it as well. I'll then include 10 Minor Detail next best, but I did think that this race dropped off significantly after those first 3 in betting. My numbers are 1, 5, 2 and 10 in the last, expecting Military Action to give a really nice show here. Care of the fact that that Debonair form looks the best form in the race. He's a really progressive type. If you didn't see Debonair's win in race number 4 earlier on, he's a son of Piero out of one of Bob Peters' mares that was quite handy on the racetrack as well in La Moline. He's now won 3 in a row in Kalgoorlie, and he looks like he'll continue to make his way through the grades. My numbers in the last 1, 5, 2 and 10, Military Action for me. Royce Newton, however, Royce goes 2, 5, 8 and 1. Royce is with Secret Attire in the last. I did hear Crishane Warren on Drive with Marty Young and Riley Morgan on Tab Radio on Friday afternoon. And Crishane Warren's best bet was Secret Attire. He's in the same corner as Royce, so hopefully between that trio, one of us can get the job done in the last. But it's Military Action for me. I'll send you the way of Royce Newton to call them home in the Madjec Constructions Handicap over the 1400. Here's Royce for the last.
Thanks, Scott. Yes, runners linking along, 3 or 4 locked away, so still the majority of the field to come forward. The money has come fast for Military Action, $2.80 now. Been well supported in the lead up to this race. Secret Attire, $4. Brazen Empress at $4.40. And in terms of the speed map, Brazen Empress can probably sit handy in this race, you would think. Secret Attire about to come forward. But they are the 3 runners in single figure odds. If you've backed a Harding runner, Strachan will don the black cap of the 2, the emergency. So, Secret Attire coming forward together with Let Sparks Fly. Pray With You and Strachan to link forward as well. There's just one hidden behind the bus. It's Send 'em to come forward as well. Thanks, Stu. Yes, so runners are all locked away, bar Send 'em to come forward. And 6-1-10 to be alive in the quaddie. It's ended up a pretty reasonable dividend, considering Debonair got the job done in the first. Since then, we've had some rough results, $17 and also 10. So we're set over at the 1400 for the Madjec. Stand by, gates fly, they're off racing. Good Dispatch 2. Now first to work forward, Brazen Empress. Let Sparks Fly working forward together with the Candy Kid. Military Action up there as well in the first 4. They were followed by Strachan, who settles closer today. Send 'em next with She's a Machine. Midfield, Mariah. Minor Detail just cast wide. A further 2 lengths then to Secret Attire, who's back there with Lacey Ace. And at the tail, it's Pray With You. So they're in the back straight, heading to the Charles Street side, and it's the Candy Kid, the last start maiden winner, who shows the way by a length. Running second, next of all, Brazen Empress. Then we had Military Action. Let Sparks Fly, 4th in a nice position. Strachan next, followed by Mariah. And then we had next Send 'em, who's covering additional ground, together with Minor Detail. She's a Machine. Well back then to Secret Attire. Tash Faithful biding her time. The inside, Lacey Ace, and Pray With You last of all. So the Candy Kid on the Charles Street side, 450 to run, leading out by a half a length now, putting the pressure into the race. Brazen Empress, Military Action, getting off feet now, gets into the clear. Closer to the inside, Mariah needs a split, together with Lucy Ace. Down the outside, Minor Detail with Sendham. Inside the final 250, it's Brazen Empress. Look at Mariah searching for a run. Military Action, every chance as well. Down the outside, Sendham with Secret Attire. It's Brazen Empress. Mariah late. Brazen Empress holding on. Goes on and wins the last. Second, Secret Attire. Third, Mariah. They were followed in by Pray With You, together with Military Action, Sendham. Well back then to AC Ace, Minor Detail, a break. The Candy Kid, the Pacemaker knocked up. Strachan never got warm. Likewise with Let Sparks Fly. And one of the last was She's a Machine. Number 5, Brazen Empress, and that gives Peter Fernie 5 on the card. 5 winners for Peter Fernie. Brazen Empress taking out the last. It was a good run behind Debonair last start, and never to be caught in the straight. Kept kicking, and over the 1400 metres, this 3-year-old has broken through once again for a second win at start 11, this Safeguard filly, and pretty handy victory too. Secret Attire, a long way back at the top of the straight, and we'll have to settle for second. Third goes to the 8, Mariah. Another, well, an encouraging run. First run out of maiden status, that's for sure, and one will get fourth, Military Action, who had every chance. 5, 2, 8 and 1 the numbers here at Kalgoorlie. Brazen Empress, Pete Fernie, Lucy Fiore combining for 5 wins. Well, 5 for Peter, I should say, by Safeguard from Paris Memory and owned by the Gold Light Nominees Proprietary Limited Syndicate, managed by Jay Cheetham. Second across the line was the 2, Secret Attire, Peter Fernie and Tash Faithful. So Team Fernie gets the Quinella here by Vancouver from Ideal Image, and owned by the Geisel Park Stud Syndicate, managed by Eddie Rigg and also Andrew Ingalls in the ownership. Third across the line, Mariah for Brett Drury and Jordan Turner by Rommel from Holy Mountain, owned by Jay Drury, Miss P. Paige Sanders, M. Byrne, Paul Watson, also Johnny Prosser, also R. Pascoe and Brian Pascoe, and 1 gets fourth. That's Military Action, Justin Robbins and Lisa Staples. 5, 2, 8, 1, a long neck by a half. 125.51, and the last 2 events taken out by on-speed runners. Brazen Empress and So Likeable, setting the speed over the 1760 and the 1400 respectfully. And these chasers from the tail, including Wanna Cracker in the 6th, and in that race we just saw Secret Attire being shot out of a cannon, but it was too late. And Brazen Empress gets the job done. Big day for Peter Fernie. 5 winners. Lucy with a double. Tash with a double. The other winning trainers, Paul Tapper and Fiona Scott, with the very encouraging Debonair. Good racing today. Some close finishes. And we look forward to seeing you next week. We've still got correct weight to come. I'll just give you the information. Our next meeting is next week here, next Sunday. So make sure you come along for another 7 event card here at Kalgoorlie. We're only 3 meetings away from the Campbelder Cup and 4 from the Tats Cup, so it's starting to heat up here at the KBRC. Hopefully the temperature does too. 5, 2, 8, 1, interim after the running of race number 7.